Wednesday morning, I'm going to cut this IBC in half. This is yesterday's job that I never got round to. So do that. Morgan's just swapping some belts on the dryer agitator because they're now burnt out. So yeah, we've done belts on the bottom and the belts on the agitator just by adding a bit of water. So don't try it at home. Anyway, I'll cut this in half and find some pallets. Little paddling pool now, sand pit or something. Yeah, so I'll screw that to a pallet. I didn't know whether to drill that lid out, but I don't need to because that sits flat. I thought the lid would stick proud, but see how it's beveled? The lid actually doesn't take up any space, and if it fills with water I could take the lid out, I suppose, and same with that, you can open the tap. But loads of people use them for putting logs in, and the plastic surplus. I'll show you this while it's in bits, but this is the bar axle on the deer. It's just like a clamp. It clamps them two halves. Clamp on here, so you can adjust the wheel width. So it's just like a huge chunk sticking out, and then as you tighten it up, they push into that collar that's chamfered. It grips tighter and tighter onto the shaft. So you can slacken it, and I think something you can put on there and you can walk it in and out very easily. A different tool, but that's just clamps tight on there. There's no ribs in anything, is there? Oh, that's got a rib there, actually stop it spinning. Yeah, that makes sense. That keyway. But nothing kind of stops it side to side, other than the sheer force of everything tightening up onto it. So they get forced into that. And the more you tighten the big bolts there, the more it pushes them in and grips the shaft. Simple yet effective. Yeah, so the guys took it to do on a machine because the other tyres were so tight on the rim. They don't have a very deep rim on a John Deere. It's hard to get off. It's done the front ones. They were sort of straightforward enough. Just looking at some screws to attach it on, I think it'd be better with the thinner ones so they don't split the pallet. And put some washers on maybe. So we'll get 8 of them. Now some washers. That'll do. Or them. Actually, they're better. I'm just going to screw in the corners and it goes into the blocks, and then the screws don't come through with the pallet forks hit. It's alright, isn't it? Probably would have been better with a bigger pallet, maybe. The Euro pallets, I always thought they were Euro size, but they're obviously not. But yeah, they're pretty versatile. If you get one of them, you end up with a log cage. Get another 2 pallets, you end up with two tubs as well. You could always just cut one of them down and then end up with half with the metal cage round, and it'd still stack. But then the other bit you cut off, you'd end up with bars sticking up, so that'd be no good, and it'd be a bit waste. It'd be sharp, so you kind of like end up with a bit of waste. Whereas now we've ended up with a log cage, which is still at Brookhouse, and now 2 of these. Take it round and put some fans in out the way. Rob's got the chipper out doing a bit of double chip. Yeah, these pedestals here, you see, you kind of like, you put them on a pallet, they fall off and then get damaged, and then ended up fixing them. And they're not cheap, they're about 300 quid each. Now I can put, I don't know, 6 or 8 in one of these. My phone rang, so Morgan and John have stacked these near, so 6 fit in nicely. I think there's 7 and 8 in that one actually, and I know the controllers for them. So at least now it's all together. But what I want to do, a bit loud because the chip is running. What I want to do is make a shelf up there, because the walls comes out nearly the width of a pallet, but make a shelf and then suspend it, maybe with a bit of rope, and then we can stick them up there out of the way. Back on the Merlot, and needs fuel. So I'll fill it up and then I'm going to put the bucket on and go up to see how that drain's going. But I'm going to put some road planings on Rob's drive at the same time. Top tip when filling something up with diesel, always put the cap inside rather than balancing it on there, because then if you forget to put the cap back on, at least it's in the cab and you see it before you go down the road and lose it. In fact, the fast track was good because it used to have a chain and it just hang down, but that's the only thing we've got that does that. Oh, the Bateman does as well, but the tractors don't, or the Merlots. Morgan's there ready to go and play drainage. Next stop, Wellbrook, see if that water's gone before it rains again this afternoon. Sounds like the drain's still running. Just to show you this hole, can you see it's benched there and the width of it? It's sloped here. It's pretty big. Wasn't going to fall in on anyone anyway. Put the digger up the field. Go and see what's happening with that flood. Right, this is where we trenched to. And we hit something hard. There's an old tile drain there that doesn't seem to be doing much at all. It seems to be totally blocked. That must have gone across the trench somewhere over here. So we'll get a spade and check that. And then there's one that's really deep there. So our pipe's about here. And that's below it. But I don't think any of them are working because that is properly choked up. So we're gonna, it's quite, a lot of it's just compacted in the top. It's been wet for so long. We're gonna scrape the slop off so that we don't have to tow the tractor, and then we're just gonna run the tractor through it and just keep going. We're gonna put a whole main all along this ditch, and then we'll just put shorter runs off it, or smaller pipe work, sorry, off it, and create a new drainage plan basically. John's just going to push the slop to one side so we're not driving the tractor through it and mauling, giving him a bit of grip so you have to tow it. He's pushing it that way so we can get the stone trailer still to the right place. Just like 6 inches of complete slop because it's been underwater for about 5 years. There's a bit of slate as well here and a bit there, so I'll dig in the bank with a spade and see what's going on, whether there's some other drains there as well. You won't believe how dry the soil is underneath that slop. Just shows you how much it's compacted together. Cavalry's arrived. We weren't going to do any draining today, but now we've decided that we'll scrape the slop off. It's actually not that bad underneath. So we may as well push on, get up there, and then let it dry a bit, and then we'll come and do some spurs off it. We're still not right in the middle of the big hollow though that we're in, so we may still, I'll stand over here, you'll see better. We may still have a chance of hitting a main underneath this puddle that might start flowing, but it's looking a bit doubtful at the moment. That's where we got to the other day, and the drain obviously hit this pipe, which is full of this, it's like a gritty material. Not really flowing much, a little bit of water oozing out of it, but not a lot. That then went across to there, and there's the other side of it, which goes right across the field. Again, nothing really flowing, pretty stuffed. Then a bit of slate here, that doesn't seem to be doing anything, but then that slate there looks like it's been laid flat, but there's no pipe above it. And when you look at the shadow in the clay, it's not orange there, it's hard to see on the camera, but I think there's been a ditch filled in here at one time, and that slate's either been in the bottom of it or they've laid it at the bottom of it before filling it in. But we'll connect up to that and then carry on that way. Do wellies, Morgan. There. There was the trolley board tread pattern by any chance that someone had sent me. Right, perhaps be, yeah. Go on, show us the bottom. You can't really see, can you? They're that muddy. Not ideal conditions. We struggled to find somewhere solid to put the tripod because the wind was blowing it, because the mud was so soft. And we're off again, holding its own now. Connected that over there. A bit of pipe bending on the bottom where we don't jump. Throwing it back up now. Going all right now. Such a slog through this mud. This was grass the other day. Well, there was. Not here. This came out the drainage chain when we turned it on. It's an old Harrow tine, I think. That probably wasn't helping the other day as well. This drive, we scraped the slop off the other week, but now it's just a load of puddles because it won't stop raining, so just putting some planings on this as well. Definitely the tractor there, not a horse. That's rough enough now. We'll let it settle a little bit, and then if there's any potholes up here, we'll put some more stone in. But yeah, there's quite a big one there, big one there, big one there. I just want to flicking forwards a bit, doesn't it? It's quite muddy where you open and close the gate. We started and they're now over there. The drain is actually flying today after we've got through that wet bit. It is needing a little bit of digger assistance to tow it, but we've not hit anything hard and troublesome. I've got the stone trailer on. I'm just going to stone up. I just don't want to block the lasers out, so I'm just waiting for him to clear it a bit further, get a bit further down the hill. Then I've got to shoot back, get a shower, got a Zoom meeting. Don't need a shower for the Zoom meeting, but then I've got to then rush to the train station, get the train to London to go to what you call it. Hold on, I'll have to read the email. A food value supply chain, the furnace in the food value supply chain meeting at the Houses of Parliament. So that should be quite interesting as well. So yeah, busy this morning, but then not so this afternoon because we sat on a train and there's never any signal on a train, is there? So you can't even sort of do email-y stuff. All right, we'll be scraped off though. But never mind, doesn't help being towed. Good drainage pipe we've got through there, but no water flowing. It's really unusual not to hit pipes with water just sort of flowing out of me with the R-half blocked. Just shows you the clay content of this field. Knowing what we know now, that we've not hit anything of any significance, we maybe should have gone instead of straight down the back of the hedge like you can see on the drawing now. We should have gone diagonal through the field and put spurs off it like I'm drawing at the moment. So rather than it looking like a Christmas tree, it's going to look more like a number E. Digging just makes it that bit easier and keeps a bit of weight on the front axle as well. This was the field I put the dye in the other day. As you can see, there's a significant amount of water there now, so the dye has well and truly got diluted. I'll have to do it next time it dries up again, then we can see whether we're getting any water at all under that road. Where we've been draining is the other side of that embankment around that bend, and that's where that big manhole is. But yeah, this is flooded, spilling out onto this road, going around the corner and then down one of the manholes. Shoot back, shower, as soon as the Zoom meeting, as soon as the Zoom meeting's finished, straight to the airport train station. Next stop, London, to get the train times to work. I'm coming from Warrington, don't normally come from here, but there's the massive Unilever factory or whatever. So yeah, down on the train, an hour 45 later, I should be in Euston, get across London to Houses of Parliament and see what's going on.
Henry Bedford is 7, Hannah Chandler is 38, Annabelle Davis is 56, Sam Boulevant is 18, and Richard Morris Marine aboard is 78. And happy 20th wedding anniversary to Lynn's Holmes, Catherine, Rob and Bella. 62,086 raised, and if you want to be on there, there is a link under every single video.
Some Merlot there. On the underground we go. Feel like a waffle. You blink to go the opposite way. Is that bunt, you know, just permanently there? Leaves permanently there. Anyway, let's find out how to get in. Here we're loads of time to spare, but you do have to go through an x-ray machine. Anyway, that's probably it for today. The video's already too long. Thanks James for doing the birthdays. I'll see you tomorrow. Looks like someone's just come back from Cheltenham.